And with training camp starting means it's the beginning of Hard Knocks, which a lot of NFL fans love getting that back end view of things. We've got the Detroit Lions this year as the featured team. And there's always that debate of like, is it beneficial for these teams to be a part of Hard Knocks? We got to see the first episode yesterday, which aired on Tuesday the 9th. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, how do you like? Do you think that for this Lions organization that's been struggling, do you think that it's putting them in a good position for this season?
Well, the funny thing about Hard Knocks show is when putting teams on, most will say they would love to have the best team on. So who was that best team last year? It was the Rams. You know, they had their run on the Hard Knocks. And then Cincinnati. Cincinnati had their run on Hard Knocks. Now it's Detroit, which it's not one of the better teams. But yet you still have to give them an opportunity to shine, I would say, in the National Football League when it comes to how they run their camps. I think I saw where Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn both played in the National Football League, one for the Philadelphia Eagles and Deuce Staley, to Aaron Glenn being one of the cornerbacks who played for the New York Jets, did a phenomenal job, both players in the National Football League, to now they're competing on the same team as coaches. One's a defensive coordinator and the other is the running backs coach. Like, what is Deuce telling the defensive coordinator? You know, is he upset because they're coming down heavy on the running backs when they're running the ball in 9-on-7 drills? For those who don't know what 9-on-7 is, it's the front linemen and the tight ends and the fullback, if you will, to linebackers and D linemen and maybe a safety coming down in the hole. So we call that 9-on-7. That's the bigs going against the bigs in the trenches. And I think it was a play where there was a screen thrown by the offense and Aaron Glenn's safety or whomever came up and made the play. And Aaron Glenn was going crazy, and Deuce goes, "Oh, we're getting excited over a screen? Is that what it is? We're talking about a screen?" And so, you know, you get all the excitement and all the energy that you need because, of course, you know, the cameras are there. And you get a chance to see guys with a lot of energy. And then you get a chance to see guys coming in with the cars, what kind of cars they're driving when coming in, what they're doing during their downtime. I think there was a time where there's a par 3, I think 127 something odd yard par 3. They're on campus, they're on the property, there for the players to actually go play a little golf if they choose to. So it's gotten better with the years, I will say, knowing that now that they have a par 3 on the property there at camp, which we didn't have that when we were at Latrobe in Pittsburgh or any place that I would put up with Chicago and also with the Baltimore Ravens. But, you know, you get a chance to see how they operate and move, coaches coach behind the scenes, things that are being said, players that get cut, guys that are coming in, you know, those sob stories of families that they have that has to relocate and hopefully get picked up by someone else during this preseason time. So, you know, it's pretty interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But you get a chance to see all the extra energy, if you will, I think actually exuding from some of these players and coaches when it comes to having fun.
I feel like the last few years, the Hard Knocks hasn't been as entertaining. And I think this year's already off to a really good start. And you mentioned with Glenn and Staley how those two guys are former players. Dan Campbell, former longtime player. Look at this whole coaching staff. It's a lot of former NFL guys. And you get all those personalities. Yep. It's very unique. I can't think of the last time we've had a coaching staff that has had this much NFL playing experience across the board.
Right.
I'm just curious from like your perspective, do you think having that many former player coaches is a good thing for this young roster?
That's a lot of Chiefs on one team, isn't it?
Right.
Not enough Indians, if you will, right? Because the egos, the mentalities, the experiences, whether it's winning or losing, you just hope that it can mesh well enough. Because as you know, camaraderie is everything, right? Not just on the football team, but also with a coaching staff. And if you don't have that camaraderie, the headbutting can actually start pretty fast. You know, I coached in the high school, and you get some coaches that say, just because you played in the National Football League doesn't mean you can be a real good coach. But I know a lot. You know, I know a lot. And I've slept on more film than most have watched, you know, when it comes to high school. And that mentality, right? That mentality, I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to offend anyone, but you're thinking that, right? And so just imagine those coaches who are actually showing that energy amongst one another as they actually go out on the football field to prove a point that maybe my tenure as a player in being coached by certain coaches should have precedence because maybe I have the hardware, or maybe I play with a better organization in a sense of tradition and how they won.